I am enormously grateful to the team of the people that has been working with me, especially the last year. I felt it's like a concert where everybody is doing some piece of the work, and together we are making a very strong team. And I'm talking now not just about the members of the government, not just about the vice presidents, but about another 80 representatives and another 20 people that more or less help us on daily basis, with I think more than 10 people full-time working on the Liberland recognition and the solutions for this blockchain, as well as the settlement. And I'm quite excited that right here with me, actually, we do have the people that are on the spot, ready to help us make the first permanent presence in Liberland. So the things are moving forward, and I'm very excited to have all these people with me on this wonderful trip. And that resulted last year in, I would say, more than 4 countries newly recognized Liberland last year, which is very exciting result for a nascent and startup country like ours. And I have just checked the database, and we have reached over 700,000 emails in our database of people that have signed up on the website for the citizenship, which is quite exciting number. All these people in these years, it's a bigger than Malta or bigger than Iceland nation in a way that is online. And I truly believe there is 1% of the global population. So let's say another 80 million of the people that can join our national movement in near future, and we become one of the major nations on this planet. And why is that? I think there are multiple reasons why Liberland is popular. And I'm just thinking why even like opposite sides of philosophical and political spectrum support us. And I just wrote a couple of these things down. And I believe that, for example, left likes us because we are kind of a social experiment, which gives people a lot of social freedoms. And this is something which they don't want to experiment with too much freedom at home. They believe in a strong state that should take care of people, but they don't really have a problem with a state that doesn't take care that much if it's outside of their borders. So from their perspective, Liberland becomes a very popular alternative platform. And the right side of the political spectrum, of course, likes Liberland because of our free market economic values, which are the basis, the core of the Liberland itself. And even our neighbors, right? The Serbians stated at the very beginning of creation of Liberland, they don't mind creation of Liberland. It was not formed on their territory. And they can already feel the benefits of our startup country in the presence. I'm right now speaking from this Arc Village that we're building here, and there are hundreds of people coming every month to see and help us do something in the region. So we're putting a lot of media attention to this region, and the summer usually becomes quite touristically attractive also for many people from all around the world to visit. And Croatians should actually have the same feeling, because we are also enforcing Croatian's version of the border. Liberland has not taken the territory of either of these countries. We have stick our claim very strictly outside of the territories of the 2 countries. So from that perspective, Croatians should also appreciate the fact that Liberland basically is not created on the territory of Croatia. And I was even thinking that in a way, globalists like us, I'm wondering, why do I get invited to these bigger events like Davos? And in a way, it is appealing for them because we are kind of cosmopolitan. You know, we are citizens from all around the world, and we are very technologically oriented. So from that perspective, we are also popular in these circles. And on the other hand, nationalists also like us, because I think we are restoring the true healthy national spirit of a country, something that has been kind of forgotten in many countries, and that is, I think, at the true basis of healthy nation movement. People that share the idea of how they want to govern themselves. I think that's the most important part of the national belief that builds a good nation. So there is kind of something for everybody inside of Liberland. And I'm very excited that this physical presence where I'm speaking from the Arc Village, and you can, for example, go to arc.ll.land to see the future plans, is happening physically. It's helping us to make strong ties in the region. It's helping us to learn how to work with the local contractors for the construction of Liberland itself. It's bringing us a lot of friends. I would say I've got some 8 citizenships to deliver tonight during this New Year's party that is happening downstairs just in 1 hour from now. And of course, I wish you were here with us. It is a short trip from most of Europe, more like a 2-hour flight on average, and then another 2-hour bus drive or taxi drive to visit us here in Liberland or in the Ark Village. And I really hope that you will be able to join us for the anniversary, which is happening in April, and it will be a major event. We're working hard on it already. And I hope to have at least 150 people here physically present with us in Ark Village as well as in Liberland itself. So Liberland next year is a strategically important for us. It is the year when Croatia joins the Schengen, and that will allow us to do a lot of business in Croatia, and it will allow us also to more easily access Liberland itself. We're going to see that very soon because we're only, I would say, 6 or 7 hours away from that event. And secondly, we're building this blockchain governance. And I would like to stress, why is it so important? Because Liberland has become the first country on the planet with legitimate claim on a sovereign land that has decided to tokenize the sovereignty of itself. And that has never been done historically before. And that, I believe, is one of the most important things that needs to be done. And of course, these things would not have that much value if they were not built on a strict principles of freedom that Liberland itself have been built on, and that I think most of our nationals believe in, to adhere to the strict principles of liberty and try to maximize the economic and social freedom of our citizens, which in return results in the biggest prosperity. And I hope we will inspire more enclaves like Liberland. And on our new website, which I believe we will launch in early January, you will be able to see all the enclaves and the villages that have been built around Liberland in all parts of the world. I think in all continents, we have more than 15 offspring communities. And I hope we will also inspire more nation building efforts. I think Liberland has really become the leader of this network state movement, which has recently become popular as a term. So I was asked actually 4 days ago by this journalist in Czech Republic, what is the biggest export material of Liberland? And I told him straight away, we are freedom. We are helping to open people's minds on the way that countries should be built. And we are helping them to think out of the box. Because I truly believe that the way that the governments have been devised and have been built in last century has not been very successful, and it has led to a number of tragedies. And we could have already colonized places like Mars if the governance systems on this planet were just a little bit better. So I wish you all the best in the next year. I hope you will be able to come and visit Liberland. And I'm really excited about all of these things. So join us in one way or another, help us build better Liberland. If you don't like something about Liberland, if you like something about Liberland, feel free to contact with me directly or with the team at info@liberland.org. It's very easy. And thank you for being with us. And I'm looking forward to have this networking session and maybe a couple questions and answers and a short trip to the metaverse that Mirek has built. So I would say, let's open the panel up of all the ministers. Let's have a small discussion while we are also able to answer a couple of questions that you can put up in the chat.